Have you ever imagined what it would be like if humans could become younger again after growing old? Not simply slowing down aging, but actually reversing the process? Welcome to Blow the Mind, the channel where we explore incredible facts, strange creatures, natural mysteries, and fascinating discoveries that may sound like fiction, but are actually real. Today, we're diving into the ocean to discover one of the most extraordinary creatures ever studied by scientists, a tiny jellyfish with a remarkable ability to return to an earlier stage of its life. Its name is Turritopsis dohrnii, but it is better known as the Immortal Jellyfish. But is this jellyfish truly impossible to kill? And how can an animal actually reverse its own aging process? To understand what makes this creature so unique, we first need to look at the life cycle of an ordinary jellyfish. Most jellyfish begin their lives as tiny larvae that eventually attach themselves to a surface on the seafloor. After developing, they enter a stage known as a polyp. From this stage, they produce young jellyfish that gradually grow into adults. Normally, once they reach adulthood, their life cycle continues until they eventually die. But Turritopsis dohrnii has a very different ability. When it experiences certain conditions such as injury, starvation, or environmental stress, this jellyfish can do something that sounds almost impossible. Instead of continuing to age toward death, its body can transform back into the polyp stage. Imagine a butterfly that has already reached adulthood suddenly returning to its earlier stage and becoming a chrysalis again. The process in this jellyfish is even more remarkable because its cells can change their functions. This process is known as transdifferentiation, where a mature cell with one specific function transforms into another type of cell. Through this mechanism, the jellyfish can reorganize its body and return from the adult stage to an earlier stage of its life cycle. Once it becomes a polyp again, its life cycle can begin all over. The polyp can then develop into a young jellyfish and eventually become an adult once again. Under certain conditions, this process can happen repeatedly. This is why the creature has earned the nickname the Immortal Jellyfish. But there is one important thing to understand. The word immortal does not mean that this jellyfish can never die. It can still be eaten by predators, affected by disease, damaged by its environment, or killed by external conditions. Its extraordinary ability is not immunity to death, but rather the ability to reset its life cycle. And this is exactly what makes scientists so interested in it. If an animal can return its adult body to an earlier stage of development, could studying this mechanism someday help us understand aging in humans? The answer is far from simple. The human body is much more complex, and there is currently no evidence that humans can use the same mechanism to become young again. However, studying Turritopsis dohrnii may provide valuable clues about how cells maintain themselves, change their functions, and repair tissues. Researchers are studying how this organism controls cellular changes and how these biological processes are regulated. They hope that understanding these mechanisms could eventually provide new insights into tissue regeneration, cellular development, and the biology of aging. But for now, there is no technology that allows humans to reproduce the jellyfish's remarkable ability. In nature, this ability may serve as an extraordinary survival strategy. When conditions become unfavorable or the animal experiences severe stress, it does not necessarily have to continue toward death. Instead, it can return to an earlier stage of its life and begin the cycle again. Imagine if humans had the same ability. When our bodies began to age, we could simply become younger again and start growing all over. But for humans, aging involves complex changes and damage to cells, DNA, tissues, and many different systems throughout the body. That is why the ability of Turritopsis dohanii cannot simply be transferred to humans. Even so, the existence of this tiny creature shows us that nature can find solutions to problems that seem impossible. Somewhere in the vast ocean, a tiny jellyfish possesses a biological ability that continues to challenge our understanding of life itself. Perhaps we have not yet discovered a way to reverse human aging, but this jellyfish has shown us that in nature, a process we once thought could only move forward may actually have a way back. If you enjoyed learning about the immortal jellyfish and other incredible facts from our world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Blow D Mind, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Because our planet is still filled with extraordinary creatures and mysterious phenomena waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.